Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing the NBA playoffs predictions. And starting with the play-in we'll do the West first. So we have the Clippers versus the Warriors, 10 versus 9. The winner plays the loser of the 7 and the 8. Clippers versus Warriors. Give me the Warriors to beat the Clippers. First off, I am a Warriors fan, so I hope in somewhat capacity we do win this game. I think we can win this game. We got Steph back. We've been looking more, I would say more and more in a fluent flow state with Curry coming back. The lineup looks more consistent. I think our biggest problem is going to be Kawhi Leonard, obviously, who's been playing absolutely his best basketball and probably one of his best seasons. He's been the most healthy this season. The Clippers are still a dangerous team. I think if either us or the Clippers get in, they can be a dangerous team to one of these one or the Thunder or the Spurs, who are the 1 and 2 seed. But give me the Warriors to beat the Clippers. And then for the Suns and Trailblazers, an interesting one. I like the Trailblazers. They have had a pretty solid season for a team that I thought was going to be way worse than this. But they have been, most surprisingly, I think with players stepping up for them, like Scoot Henderson and obviously other role players and younger players who've been stepping up. I'm forgetting names now. It's not Shannon. I'm about to say Shannon Sharp. I think it's Shandon Sharp, the guard who's been playing pretty good. They've been a pretty overall young team, especially with the stuff they had going in the beginning of the season with them without having really a head coach. But give me the Suns, though. I think the Suns have been playing really good. Dillon Brooks has been playing out of his mind. He has been looking like a pretty solid player. Grayson Allen's been playing pretty good. Calypso, the other guard for the Suns, have been playing pretty good. And I don't know if Devin Booker or Jalen Green is. I don't think Jalen Green is going to play in that game, but I think Devin Booker is going to play. So if Devin Booker plays, then they'll definitely beat the Trailblazers. Also, you still have Mark Williams, who has been playing pretty solid. So, and then the Suns will go on to play the Spurs, but then we have one more playing game will be between the Warriors and the Trailblazers, and give me the Warriors to beat the Trailblazers. The Warriors, Steph Curry in particular, have owned the Trailblazers, and I see nothing different happening. And I think we go on to play the number 1 seeded Thunder, which that's going to be pretty interesting, and I'll get to that. Going to the play-in game in the East. First, Hornets and Heat. Give me the Hornets to beat the Heat. I think the Heat time in the play-in of winning games have come to an end. The Hornets have been one of the best teams in the NBA in the last month. A team that's been on a massive winning streak coming into this whole playoffs in general. And I think this is a team that can make some noise. I think they can upset a team depending on if they play between they'll have to play the Pistons if they make it out, which in their position that they're in, if they make it out the play-in, they'll have to play the Pistons. In which I think will happen because I have the Hornets beating the Heat. I don't think the Heat have enough to really come around to beat this Hornets team. LaMelo has had amazing games against them every single time they played. You still have Brandon Miller, who's playing with confidence and playing more consistent. You still have Colin Kanickel, who leads the NBA in three-pointers made by a rookie, first time ever. So I don't see the Heat, unless the Heat come out crazy like they be doing in the play-in or playoffs, and Tyler Hero comes out and doesn't miss a shot, or Bam just goes off, or something like that happens. But other than that, I don't see the Heat beating the Hornets right now. I think the Heat's kind of been taking a slope down. Bam had 83 this season, great milestone for him. But other than that, the Heat have not been that good of a team. Granted, at any given night, they can beat anybody and then they'll lose to anybody. But I don't see them beating the Hornets. So give me the Hornets to beat the Heat. And next we have the 76ers versus the Magic. Give me the 76ers to beat the Magic. I don't see... The Magic have been, I feel like, such a letdown. Paulo Banchero has just not been that guy. Neither has Fred Warner and Desmond Bane. Like they have had good stretches and good games, but overall consistency out of them, that what we've expected has not been the best out of them. I think after Anthony Black went down, that's when they kind of went downhill from there. Which actually, Anthony Black to me was always been I feel like a keystone, a part of their team, and nobody really talks about Anthony Black like that. But the Magic don't seem like a team that's gonna get it done. I feel like they're gonna disappoint me. I feel like Paulo Banchero is going to not have a good play in, or even if they somehow make the playoffs, if they beat the 76, I don't see them having a good series. Paulo Banchero has had solid playoff series. When they played Cleveland, he was having 40 and stuff, but he was taking 30, 40 shots a game. I don't see them really coming to really play like that against especially if they got to play the Celtics. Because whoever wins between the 76ers and the Magic have to play the Celtics. They're gonna get shut down again, because I think, was it the year the Celtics won it, they swept the Magic, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, give me the 76ers to beat the Magic, and then you'll have the Hornets versus the Magic. Give me the Hornets to beat the Magic. To me, this Hornets seems to feel like they've been on a roll, and I can be completely wrong about this. I want y'all to know, like, I don't want nobody to be like, oh, we just gonna take his takes for granted. Like, it's one thing I've learned with basketball. If somebody is not shooting good, it's not going to be a good day for them. But I do think the Hornets have been probably the most consistent team, at least top 3 out of a lot of teams in the playoffs right now. So they're just getting more comfortable. So I like the Hornets beating the Magic. I like the Hornets making the playoffs out of the East teams in the play-in. So then we'll have the Thunder versus the Warriors. We have Lakers versus Rockets, Nuggets versus Timberwolves, Spurs versus Suns, Pistons versus Hornets, Cavaliers versus Raptors, Knicks versus Hawks, and Celtics versus 76ers. First series, we're going to do the Thunder and the Warriors. Give me the Thunder in 6. I think the Warriors can make it a hard series on them with Curry, of course, but Shea is probably going to win back-to-back MVPs and possibly a back-to-back championship. I don't see us beating them just because, first of all, they're bigger than us. Granted, we have Porzingis, and seeing how maybe we might play a fully healthy Warriors team will play against a fully healthy Thunder team will be pretty interesting. I just don't think we have the firepower to compete with them defensively, offensively. We have Curry, we have Podziemski, who's, no matter how much I hate on him, he's solid. He's been pretty solid these last couple of games. We still have got Santos, who's been playing pretty solid. Porzingis, who's actually been playing pretty good for us when he's played. If Will Richardson and Seth Curry, they can all get into a rhythm. Will Richardson has kind of lost his way, come towards the late end of the season, late stretch. He has not been playing that good to what he was doing in the beginning of the season when he was playing good. But then other guys too who've been kind of playing pretty solid on the team, like LJ Cryer and all that. Then, guys like that who've been playing pretty good for us. So it's gonna be, I think that'll be a pretty interesting series. But give me the Thunder to win. The win in 6. Next, we have the Lakers and Rockets. If the Lakers are fully healthy coming into the series, I would have took the Lakers in 7, probably. But give me the Rockets in 6. I think if the Lakers actually get to 6 games, I think they can have Luka or Austin Reeves back. But I don't see LeBron carrying the Lakers past the Rockets. The Rockets have too much when the Lakers don't really have that much. You don't have Luka, you don't have Reeves, so you gotta. They're already like, where's our scoring for the come from? LeBron can't give you 40 every game against the Rockets. That's just not going to happen. I think LeBron is going to have a game where he does go off, but he's not gonna be able to get them past the Rockets without Luka or Austin Reeves. So give me the Rockets in 6. I do think it's going to be a pretty good series. The Rockets have not been that, I'm not going to say good, but they've been disappointing more than what I thought they were going to be. KD went there and he Like, I feel like this is the first team he's went on and he can be the number one option, and he really wasn't. And that's just kind of a big thing to me that he just has not been doing. And then going on to the Nuggets and Timberwolves, which I think is probably going to be the best series of the first round. Give me the Nuggets in 7. The Nuggets, who have been amazing in this last couple of years. Jamal Murray, ever since that Lakers game where he shot like, I think he had only 5 or 4 points because he had more fouls than he did points. I think he shot like 2 of 18 or something like that crazy. But after that, the Nuggets have been on a roll. I know they're 10-0 in they're 10-0 in their last 10 games. They're on like crazy winning streak. I think like a 13, 14 game winning streak. I don't know if they lost their last game of the race, which could have broke their any game before that. I didn't check. I know they just were on a winning streak when I did check. And they still have Jokic, somebody who's in an MVP conversation right now, and I think. And Cameron Johnson has been actually stepping up and playing that, and being that player they need him to be. Aaron Gordon has really stepped into that X Factor role, knocking down threes and being that guy who's taking over games now. The Timberwolves, when it comes around to playoff time, they look good, but yet not the best. And of course, it's still gonna get his. And gonna do what he gotta do. I think it just comes down to everybody else, like McDaniels and Julius Randle and Rudy and all those type of guys when it comes around to it. And DiVincenzo. I think it's more of whose role players and bench can do the most, because we know what Anthony Edwards, we know what Jokic can do, we know what Jamal Murray can do. It really actually kind of on him too, depending on what type of series he wants to have. Like Aaron Gordon and Jokic, I know for sure what they're gonna do. Jamal Murray is a mystery factor, but he's been playing pretty good. But it depends on what type of series he wants to give us. But I do think the Nuggets will win this one in 7. But I do think this is gonna be the best series in the first round. Then next we have the Spurs versus the Suns. Give me the Spurs to sweep the Suns. I don't see the Suns taking the game against the Spurs. They don't have anybody to really guard Victor Wembanyama. I do think Stephon Castle will lock up Devin Booker. I think the Suns might be able to get one. Just one. Either they get swept or they get one. I don't think they take 2. I say they'll either get one or they get swept. It's in between. It's between those. It's either one. They don't take 2. Actually, to be honest with you, the Spurs are my championship favorite. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Next, we have the Pistons versus the Hornets. I like the Pistons, but give me the Hornets to upset the Pistons. Cause they don't have the Pistons. Here's my problem with the Pistons. The Pistons don't have a secondary scorer other than Cade. Unless Jalen Duren, who I always said needs to take that big guy role and be able to score. And he's a great defensive player, great rebounder, spaces the floor, but he's someone who I think kind of needs to give them that 22. Like, if he can score 20, 25, and Cade can get him like like 28, 30. Like, okay, my video cut out. But we're back. But the Pistons, like I said, Jalen Duren has to step into more of that scoring role if they want to beat the Hornets. Like I said, the Hornets have been on a massive roll, and I think coming into it with confidence, if they do what I think they're going to do, by beating the Heat and then beating the Magic, and they come into that series with confidence, I do think they can upset the Pistons. LaMelo has been playing some of his best, like the whole team has been playing his best basketball. And I think if any team can upset somebody right now, it's the Hornets. So give me them to beat the Pistons in 6. Give me the Hornets to beat the Pistons in 6. I like that matchup actually. Next we have the Cavaliers and Raptors. An interesting series, but give me the Cavaliers to beat the Raptors in 5. The Raptors have been pretty solid. I don't see them really matching up that well against the Cavaliers. I think Donovan Mitchell, who's always really had amazing playoff games, I think is going to, of course, come in and kind of wipe them off the mat. He's going to have his 40 and he's going to be on his step back threes and shoot from the logos. Because he starts shooting. He has unlimited range when he gets into the playoffs. So Donovan Mitchell going to do his thing. I think it just really comes down to James Harden and really the crew around him. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, I think, going to do their thing. I think it just really comes down to what James Harden we're going to get coming into this series. That's the really, I think, important piece for me. Cleveland plays pretty solid defensively. I'm kind of off because the Raptors, I watched a lot of these teams. I think the Raptors are probably the last team I've watched. Brandon Ingram, I know Brandon Ingram's been pretty solid for them. RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes, of course, been hooping. I don't see them beating the Cavaliers. They could upset Cleveland. To me, it would be an upset if the Raptors beat Cleveland. Unless Brandon Ingram kind of goes crazy, I don't see them beating Cavaliers. So give me Cleveland in 5. Next, we have the Knicks and the Hawks. An interesting series because the Knicks have been on a bumpy road, and I don't know, the Knicks and the Hawks. Give me the Knicks, of course, to win. I have them to sweep the Hawks, but the Knicks I don't think make it past the second round. And then going into the Celtics and 76ers. Give me the Celtics to... They'll beat the 76ers in 6. I think the 76ers can get 2 games off of the Celtics. But other than that, give me the Celtics. Jason Tatum coming back. He's been playing pretty solid. He's not back, of course, 100 yet. But as more probably this playoff goes on, the deeper they go, he'll probably be getting better and better. Jaylen Brown has been absolutely holding it down. Him, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. Like, them guys over there have been actually holding it down ever for when Jason Tatum was out. And have been kind of keeping themselves on top of the East that whole time. So, yeah, give me the Celtics. Actually, give me the Celtics in 5. The Celtics have just been playing out of their minds. I think they're going to be the one team to come out the East anyway. So, in the second round, we'll have the Thunder versus the Rockets, Nuggets versus Spurs. Give me the Thunder in 6 versus the Rockets. No, give me the in 7. Actually, I think that series can go to a game 7. I think the Thunder just have the more, unless Kevin Durant locks in and actually starts looking like the Kevin Durant we thought he was gonna look like, then the Rockets can somehow pull that away. I got to see how Amen Thompson, I feel like, is going to play good. Granted, he's more of a defensive player. He's not really that guy to give you 30. I got to see how Şengün plays, really. Because he's another, like, little factor. But he's... I don't know. I don't really like Şengün like that. I don't know. Maybe it's me. There's something about his game I just don't like. I feel like he cries a lot, or complains a lot, rather, for the calls. And then he doesn't feel like a big to me. But give me the Thunder to win in 7. Next, we have the Spurs versus the Nuggets. Give me the Spurs to beat the Nuggets in 7. I think that series also comes down to the wire. I think those going to be those series where Jokic kind of goes crazy and nobody can really guard him or stop him. Next, we'll have the Hornets versus the Cavaliers. And give me the Cavaliers to beat the Hornets and for Donovan Mitchell to go to his first Eastern Conference Finals. I have the Cavaliers winning that series in 5. I think that's where the Hornets can actually run out of gas and kind of lose it out there. Because if they have to play the Cavaliers, it'll be too much firepower. Just like because it's gonna be playoff Donovan Mitchell they're playing against, and I don't see the Hornets getting past him, because Donovan Mitchell's always going to be an X factor. He's going to give you 40, at least. Like, Donovan Mitchell is the second, highest scorer in a playoff game of points. I think he was 2 points shy of tying, I think, Michael Jordan's 63. So, Yeah, give me the Cavaliers to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then next we have the Celtics and Knicks. Give me the Celtics in 6 to beat the Knicks. The Knicks do not look like a championship team to me. They just have not been that good of a team. I feel like they fired Tibbs just to bring in Mike Brown, just for him to do the exact same thing Tibbs was doing. Not play the bench, playing the starters 30 minutes a game, running the same rotations. I feel like they just kind of put themselves in the loop. And it's kind of funny because like they fired Tibbs just for Mike Brown to come and do the exact same thing Tibbs was doing. But give me our Western Conference will be the Thunder versus the Spurs and the Cavaliers and the Celtics. Give me the Spurs to beat the Thunder in 7, and give me the Celtics to beat the Cavaliers in 5. Those are going to be 2 amazing series. And then our finals is going to be the Spurs and the Boston Celtics. And give me the Spurs to win in 6. And the Spurs, to me, for this year, are going to be our NBA champions. I think Victor Wembanyama gets it done this year. He gets the ring. Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox and all that, I think, can complete the mission of winning an NBA championship this season and beating the Thunder, too. So, yeah, that's my playoff predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your predictions and thoughts in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all next time. Have a very, very blessed day.